Welcome to the channel Learning R is Fun. In the last videos, we have covered different data types in R such as vectors, lists, matrices, arrays and data frames. In the last video, we have covered the topic of functions in detail. In this video, we will discuss the different control structures in R for program logic to be built upon. We will cover the control structures in two parts. According to Bjarne Stroustrup, creator of C++, nested conditions and loops must be viewed with great suspicion. Complicated control flows confuse programmers. Messy code often hides bugs. You can't agree more with him in any case, at least by the end of this session. R's control structure is built upon these keywords. In all of these, we execute a block of statements a given number of times based on some conditions. In the case of if and switch, execution of block is only once. We will cover for, while, repeat, switch, etc. in the next video. The if keyword can be used alone or with else if and else or with simply else. In the first case, if condition is satisfied, then yes block of statements should be executed. Otherwise, program flows to the next statement after the if block. In the second case, if condition is not satisfied, then the program executes else block of statements, then proceeds to the next statement after the else block. Now we will see another variation. In this variation, both if condition and else condition are not satisfied, then control flows to check whether one or more else if is there. If not, else is evaluated. Let us explore the control structures if, else if, etc. in the RStudio. We will see some examples of simple if and if else classes. In the first statement here, I have given certain assignments. Since the assignments are all elementary, I have put them all in one single line. So 10 is being assigned to A, 15 is being assigned to B, etc. And then in the next statement, I have given certain examples of conditions. That is A greater than B, B greater than A greater than C, 2 multiplied by A is greater than or is less than C. These are 4 conditions, examples. And these condition examples should evaluate to either false or true. Based on the values of A and B, we get false, true, false, false. For example, the last one, 2 times A is 20 and C is 20, therefore 20 is less than 20 is false. So, the conditions are evaluated. Now we will come to the if class. In the if class, we are asking A greater than B and then 5. It means, if A greater than B works out to be true, then 5 is the result of this whole expression. If not, then in that case null is the expression. So that is seen by next statement, that is D is assigned if A greater than B 5. So if A is greater than B, which is not true, then 5 cannot be assigned, therefore null will be assigned. In the next statement, B is greater than A is true, therefore 5 will go to D. Now there is another example of if else where we have 3 arguments. One is the condition A greater than B, another is 20, another is 25. That is, when A greater than B is true, then 20 will be assigned to D. When A greater than B is false, 25 will be assigned to D. Now in the next statement, we ask B greater than A, which is true, therefore 20 will be assigned. In the previous statement, 25 will be assigned because it is not true. Now this assignment of 25 and 20 are explicitly given in the if else class, whereas in the if class, the else situation is not mentioned, that is simply null. So we will come to the last statement, if condition 100. If the condition is evaluating to true, then 100 will go to X. If the condition is false, then null will go to X. Now the condition can be anything. I have given some examples. It can be an elaborate expression. And ultimately what we need in that condition portion is either true or false. So one way is to write these conditions and assign the condition to a variable, which can be again in the name of condition. It can be anything else like logic value or anything. Then that is to be written within the if class. We have got the script on the editor. So we'll start with the assignment. Condition will set as true first. Condition is the variable where we are giving the logical value true. Now we'll start with the first simple if. If condition 3. If keyword is to be followed with a brace and then the criteria is to be written. Here we are writing the criterion as condition, which is true in our case right now. And then if this is true, then you do this. This is what we are saying. So this 3 will be the result and that 3 will go to x. So let's see what is x. Here in the console, we get 3. As usual, it is presented in the form of a vector. Now we'll set x as 100. Okay. We know x is now 100. In any case, we can see once again in the console. Now what we'll do, we'll set the condition as false. If the condition is true, then we'll get 3. If the condition is false, then what is going to happen? Will x retain 100? That is what we'll see now. We get null. That means, whatever may be the previous value of x, if you apply a if condition, then when it is true, this value will be applied. If it is not true, then null will be given to x. Let's see another example. Here, we give an alternate value in the else class. So let's execute this. That is, we should get 4 in this case. Let's see what is x. Is 4. Now, we will obtain an input from the user and then we will execute an if condition. For that, first we have to obtain the input. We use a readLine function. ReadLine and then you give a prompt. Then what readLine is doing, it is obtaining whatever characters are entered in the console as a response. It takes them in character form. That is to be converted to numeric. So we are saying as numeric. Then x will have the numeral. Then we can go for this if condition. If x is less than 5, then we will say print x is less than 5. Else we say print x is not less than 5. This conditional class will be executed after we get x from the user. So let's get this statement executed. So in the console it is asking input an integer. We'll say 7. So x has got 7 now. Let us execute this. X is not less than 5. So it is correct. Again we'll execute this statement. This time we'll give say 3. Again we'll go for this class. We get x is less than 5. Now we can execute this once more. So by going to the up arrow. Yes. This time we'll give 5. Okay. Again we'll execute this block. Not less than 5. 5 is not less than 5 is correct. Okay. Now we have understood this. There is a small variation between these two blocks. Here we have given one curly brace here and another curly brace here. Whenever you give a set of statements under the curly brace and start with else, this else and this curly brace should be together. If you write else like this at serial number 41, then you will end up with error. You don't provide the curly brace, it's fine. But else is to come immediately after this statement. So let's see this, how it works. X is not less than 5 because last x we gave is 5. Now this block will throw an error. error, unexpected else in else. So here this is problem. This else should come immediately after this parenthesis. Now we have used a curly brace, but immediately we have followed with the else, and then else block we have put again in curly brace. This also will work without any issue. But since we have issued only first line, console is giving a plus, so we have to keep on executing the remaining lines. When every line is over, x is not less than 5 because x is originally 5. Now we'll go to a different set of statements where we are using else if. Else space if. Here what happens, when x is less than 5, it says less than 5. When that is not the case, it is checking whether x is equal to 5. If it is equal to 5, then it says it is equal to 5. If it is not equal to 5 and not less than 5, then in that case it is not less than 5 is what will be the result. So you are using one else if and then one else. So let's use this block. Execute this. X is equal to 5 is what we should get, and because x we have initially set as 5. If more than one else if condition is there, then you will have that again. So and so else if, again another condition. So like that several conditions can be tested. When none of them is not satisfied, then we get the last statement. Instead of putting lot of else ifs here, we can use a switch case that will be explained in the next part. We will now come to another statement, if else. See, we have been using if and else separately. With if you do something and with else something. But if the executable statements are very simple, then you can put all of them in one parenthesis. That is, if else x less than 5, then if this is true, this second argument what is given to the function if else will be executed. Otherwise, the next one will be executed. So let's execute this and see x is not less than 5. Now we'll wind up this session. We have covered if, else, else if and if else. We'll cover for, while, repeat and switch control structures provided by R in our next session. Till then, bye from me. Thanks for watching.